a collection of thoughts woven into a piece of art. This is a creative's mind from the inside out. So I have been sharing some of my artwork and what goes on in my mind and why I created it, how I created it. And I use a process called body-led expression. It's one that I kind of came up with on my own, and it may not be super original because I think there's a lot of things that we use where we lead with our body. However, there is one point of difference in mind. So, a lot of times when people talk about connecting with their bodies, like, oh yeah, I have great body connection. They think about, when I'm hungry, I realize it, right? When I have aches and when I'm really tired, I am okay with taking a day off. To me, those are like body complaints, body struggling to survive. They are expressions, but they're needs. So I have a son who is nonverbal, and one of the things when you're nonverbal, it's struggle to communicate and to get your needs met. And we have a lot of things that we do. He has an app on his iPad that he uses to talk. We use a lot of body language and gestures, and I always look where his eyes go. I lip read. It's a whole host of things. He guides us with like his hands. He'll bring things to us and he'll show us, and he uses his device to say words out loud. Now, when we first started, it was always about you want to make sure that they're getting their needs met. And I always thought just their needs. People have desires and wants. And at the time, I was also going through beginning my own transformation where I felt stifled. And so I always think of my body back to kind of like that. Doesn't it have more than needs? Doesn't it want to express more than needs? Human beings want to express things. I think my body wants to express things. So I thought about it as a two-way street, where most people, when they think about their body connection, it's really a one-way street. Oh, when it screams at us because it's tired, okay, I will take a break. I hear you. And you sometimes shame it and scold it for not working. Why can't I run as fast as what I used to run? Like, this is ridiculous. Or, oh gosh, look at those wrinkles. There's sagging skin, like lots of things that we do like that where we're not very kind to our bodies. And then other times is where we direct it and pressure it into doing things like, come on, like I think of, in sports, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this. I'm just saying this is one way that we work with our bodies. Like, come on, there's only one more minute. You can do it. Let's push it. Let's go. And that can be actually really beneficial, right? Or breathing into a yoga pose. Come on, we can breathe just a little bit more, sink a little bit more, just relax, relax. We're always telling it what to do until it complains. And I think of body-led expression as, what if we just let it express for the sake of expressing? Like when you get to dance. So maybe there's not even music. Sometimes I do this at home. There's no music on, and I just let my body move and dance because I can feel any kind of rhythm, and I don't get so judgy on, does that look like a cool move? You're off rhythm. You can't keep a beat. I don't do any of that. It's just free flowing expression. And that is what I've done with my art. So I'm going to talk about this piece today, this piece right here, this little patchwork, where it's a lot of my, because I'm letting myself express, it's a lot of my thoughts and my feelings. Because ultimately what you end up doing is when you go through this process, it's kind of like a self-hypnosis. Like when you drive down the street and you get a few miles and you're like, gosh, I really hope I stopped at that stop sign. I don't even remember it. Like that. That's like kind of like hypnosis. Your body just gets in flow. And so that's what I end up doing when I create my art now. That's the only process that I use. And I don't ever think about the rules or what looks good or if somebody else is going to recognize it. Quite frankly, I don't care if you like this or if you don't understand it or you can't figure out what it is. Doesn't matter, because my process was me expressing from the inside out through my body. And that was really what my goal was. So I have been doing this for a while, and I got brave enough to start sharing them in social media. And then the beginning of 2024, I went a step further. I shared not only my art, but I shared part of my journaling pages because I use this as a way to gain insights into me. I believe in the power of creativity and all that it can bring. It bridges so many gaps. I mean, think about a song. You listen to a song. The writer wrote the song, the singer sang the song. Sometimes they're one and the same, sometimes they're not. And then sometimes somebody else made the melody. All of these things come together, but yet as a teenager, I was like, yes, that's a heartbreak song. I totally relate to it. It's like they made it for me. This is so my story. It connects. It's really cool, really amazing what expression can do. And so I'm going to share what I wrote about this on LinkedIn. So here we go. Let's a collection of thoughts woven into a patch of art, a creative's mind from the inside out. Scribble, cut loose, make marks, be playful. I can do. I don't have to decide. Some things reveal themselves. Others remain hidden within the color because sometimes if you watch a lot of my videos, you'll see that there's a few others I'll talk about that, yeah, when I first made it, I thought it meant this. 6 months later, I had a whole new point of view because I was ready to see something new. Just because it is light doesn't mean it's free. My eye goes to the first one I drew, third row from the top, fourth from the left. Thinking about folds, hidden secrets tucked away, it's movement that releases them. Twirling about, unafraid to get dizzy, hearing the movement of fabric. This is like a pleated skirt waiting to be worn, ready for the wearer to dance. I made this in the morning, and I'm writing this post in the evening on March 2nd, 2024. The above lines are from my journal while looking at this piece. So what I would normally do is I would make the piece, and then I would look at it. And then I just poured everything out into my journal, whatever came to my mind. It was a way that I used to access my thoughts because one of the things I discovered in this journey is that I think in abstract colors. I do not think in words, and that's why it's really hard for me sometimes to find the words. And I connected so much of this to my writing and why I always thought that I was a terrible writer because it's like I had to translate. If you show me something in colors, I feel like I understand what it means. I understand it. But when I have to then take what I see in color and put it into words, it's kind of like translating into a whole nother language is how I think about it. Think about the process. It's how I rationalize what's going on and why I struggle. And that might be just a story I'm telling myself. However, I do know that the majority of people in this world think in visuals. And some think in realistic visuals, and some think like me in abstract colors or something else. And then there's some people at the other end who think completely in words. They actually see words or sense words. But I see vivid colors in abstract movement. Oftentimes they're moving. And so that's a lot of what I end up sketching. And it helps me to gain access to, oh, now I know what I'm feeling. Oh, now I understand what I'm thinking. But I needed to translate it. The key is get it out of here. Get it out of here. Get it out of your body and into some form of creative expression, whether that is cooking or crocheting or basket making or singing, dancing. You might even have an exercise routine that you feel is your creative movement, body movement of any sort. So I'm not talking about fine arts. I don't care about fine arts. It's just getting it out, and no one else has to understand it. It's only meant for you. You can share it with others if you want to, but it's meant for you. And oftentimes I find what actually ends up on the paper doesn't really matter because I like paper. But what ends up in the product, whether it's a dance move or it's a cookie, it doesn't matter. It's the process of getting it out. That's the part that is the key part of it. So I'll continue reading from my post here. The above lines are from journaling while I look at the piece. As I type this post, I'm consumed with dancing. How imagining dancing creates a freeing vibe. Dancing in my mind, minds are amazing. They can create sensations in our bodies just from thinking about them. But dancing while moving your body is more powerful than only thinking. Dancing can be a body-led process. I don't have dancing on the agenda. Oh, I won't have to go into that part. I was doing a free workshop at that point. But for me, this body-led expression, bringing it out through your body, is really freeing. So it can be dancing. It doesn't have to be dancing. But yeah, so I guess that's what I want to share with this one. But if you have questions or you're looking to, how do I get more information on this body-led expression? How do I start figuring out how to do this? I have a whole program. I'll put down in the comments. I'll put some notes about it. And it is part creative practice. It is part get unstuck, because we all have hurdles we got to navigate, and having self-coaching tools right there at the ready to help you. It's all based off of creative principles. So it's like how I gave presentations and what I would do in meetings to help direct the conversation. And I'm sharing them all with you, and you can use them on yourself. I use them on myself all the time. Total game changer. And also a little bit of fun, because you got to have fun in there. And then aligning flow. So this is all about like body-led expression. Sometimes we talk about hypnosis, all different ways of getting your goal. So if you want to know more, you can leave a comment, you can email me, or I'm on LinkedIn every single day. You can go over there and you can even shoot me a DM.